Alright, so we're back with the WJ. Told you I was going to do this one day, and I finally got around to it. This is not going to be a how-to. Obviously, I'm already, ankle deep, you know. But goal was to put new lifters, new rods, as you can tell, new rods. Fortunately, I'm stopping here to make a video because I dropped that rod in. I need to go buy one of those tiny magnets so I don't have to lift this head back off because it weighs 1,500 pounds. And muscling it on there is a pain in the ass. Order a kit, gasket kit. Came with new head bolts. Don't reuse your old ones. Just don't do it. They're cheap enough where you shouldn't have to. Lifters, rods came as a kit. Brand new head gasket, brand new manifold gaskets. Thermostat gasket. All that's going to be new. But getting this off there, you gotta take all the bolts off of your exhaust manifold and your intake manifold. There's going to be little bolts right here that you're going to have to reach up under and kind of feel for them. I know it's a pain in the ass, but you can do it. Can be done. Move the injector rail over here. I broke this one. It's just plastic. Don't really care. Unplug everything. I removed the alternator bracket. Power steering pumps pushed to the side. Airbox and all that's gone. You'll have to take this off when removing your head, and yeah. So I took this head off, cleaned it up, cleaned out a lot of the carbon, had a little bit of a buildup. Had a lifter tick. Two of the lifters I pulled out were just stuck open and full of crap. Intake manifold cleaned up, new gasket for it, exhaust gasket. There's the alternator bracket, whatnot, extra stuff. Here's all this. Keep your shit in order. Front of the vehicle, rear of the vehicle, obviously front, rear. There's all the other stuff. New valve cover gasket. Throttle buddies up there with all the sensors on it. I just cleaned this recently and put new sensors on it. Alternator, thermostat, bracket bolts. Those go to that thing in the back. But if anybody's doing this, and like I say, I gotta run down and grab a magnet, then I'm going to be doing it. But you come over here, get your old menu out. See over here, yada yada yada, intake manifold removal and installation, follow this. Exhaust manifold removal and installation, cylinder head removal and installation. So, if y'all guys want to pause this and use it as a reference for y'all, be my guest. These are the bolts I was telling you about. Yours will probably look like this one. Gotta take. You don't have to remove them, you can loosen them and the intake manifold will come off. But I just took them out because I know I was going to be removing the exhaust. Right. Next page to follow. Yep, new gasket, top. Mine didn't have a top, but obviously the clear side goes up. Follow this, start here, work your way around your torque specs, and what was it, 20, 40, yeah, hold on. I think it says in here, also says in here, but I'll put a screenshot up of it. Yeah, here we go. So right here, as you can clearly see, when putting your new head bolts in, torque them all to 22 foot-pounds. Then do step B, all to 45 foot-pounds. On 45 foot-pounds, go back and recheck, make sure all are 45 foot-pounds. And then step C, your water jacket bolt, which will be the top right bolt. I'll show you. Going to be this guy here. Use Loctite. Manual says use Loctite, so use Loctite. If I'm not mistaken. I'll have to go get more Loctite. I don't have the right kind. But use thread locker, what was it, 539 or something like that. But yeah, that water jacket bolt, 100 foot-pounds. All of the bolts, 110 foot-pounds. That is your final foot-pounds for those. And if you want to pause here and read this, you can. But that's just pretty much after you tighten those down. Come back over here. So drop in your rods and then grab your rockers. The rocker bolts are 19 foot-pounds according to that manual, which these guys, 19 foot-pounds. And those go on, then you reassemble forward. Like I said, this isn't really a how-to, but then again, if you're doing this, hopefully you have kind of a basic idea what you're getting at. Probably wouldn't mess with this if you've never really messed with it. There's plenty of guys out there like me that can help you. I'm trying to think. Clean it all off. Put a new, in the back of this head, it has a new water seal. But, brand new head gasket. Altogether, I think around 300 bucks for this, which, I got $1,500–$1,600 in this truck. Obviously brand new tires and wheels were most of that. I bought the truck for $800. But yeah, if you were to add up all this labor, we're probably around $6–7,000 according to the shops where I live. Fine, can't wait to put it back together. It'll probably blow up because I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Not a professional, but damn sure ain't gonna pay somebody else $5 grand to do this. So, there's all the mound of boxes between all three of the Jeeps. And my Wagoneer is sold. Guy came and picked it up. Bought it. Well, gotta run to Advance, pick up a few things. I need a little tiny magnet for one, and then some oil, some coolant, whatnot. Then I'll get back after it. Alright, we're back. So after you get done busting your knuckles and cussing and spitting, 22, 45, and then 110. This one goes to 100 foot-pounds. Make sure you put Loctite on it. I haven't done it yet because I have to go buy a torque wrench that goes to that high. Never needed one, but first time ever doing a head job too. So put your new gasket on. Run these down till you break your back. I mean, just put them in there at 400 pounds. Use a breaker bar. I mean, just get them in there. Who cares? I gave up about 20 minutes ago. Yeah, put your new gasket on. Try and wrestle that in. I just stood in here and picked it all up and put it on the bolts. It's got 2 bolts there and got onto. And after doing that, get your intake manifold bolts. run them in just a couple threads. Make sure you leave the ring sitting out. Show you real fast. Where's a professional camera when you need one? Alright, here we go. So, just gonna gently, easy does it. Just get them in there. Just get him in there. Alright, and do it like that. That way you can, and there's two more. There's one there, one right there. And I think there's one more over there. Maybe, I don't know. That way you can set your intake manifold right on top of those bolts, and then you can put your top bolts in right there. But before that, I have to go out and get a torque wrench. Yeah, fun. And then they're already, all of them have been done to 45 foot-pounds. Start in the middle and circle your way out. This one I don't think it matters because all the rest of them are in. I'm gonna run this one down to 100 foot-pounds, and then, well, no, I'm gonna start in the middle and go back out. And when I get to this one, I'm gonna put thread locker on it and run it down to 100 foot-pounds. Man, I think. So here, all right. So get the SAE 12-point socket set. I only have a metric one, but it works. Kind of have to tap this one onto the bolts. But it works. I just use a Jimmy Jam to bring it back off if it gets stuck on there. Well, that's it for now. I'll get back to you guys a little bit later on how far I get from that. Man, this thing is going to be, kind of hate to sell it, but man, it's going to run like a top. Alright, so after you get your valve cover back on, you know, like I showed you earlier, how to torque down your head bolts, 22, 45, and then 110, and this one is 100 foot-pounds only. It's your water jacket bolt. Make sure you put a lube locker on it according to the manual, as y'all can see in that one. And then tighten your rockers to 19 foot-pounds. I put mine at 20. They still spin fairly simple in there. New rods, new lifters. Then take this intake manifold. Get these two on for your exhaust manifold. Get the exhaust manifold on there. After you put your, don't forget to put your gasket on there. And then tighten these down. They're 14 millimeter. It's gonna, you know, get it in there and just really, you know, I don't know. Yep, and then have fun getting the bottom ones back in. A lot of guessing as to where they go. Just use an extension, screw it in, screw it out until you get it going in straight, and put it in the rest of the way. Yeah, that's what she said. Alright, I'm gonna do that and then we'll get back to you, finish it up. Alright, we're back. So I left off with those bolts. Yeah, you're gonna have to get lucky. Just, you know, stick your head under this corner right here, use a flashlight, kind of gauge where you need to go. Personally, these little holes right here are exactly above the bolts, except for the middle one. I think it's a little off to it, but you should be able to see it. Put your power steering pump back on. These 3 bolts inside the wheel. I mean, you took it off, obviously you'll remember where it goes. Alternator back on, brackets back on, throttle body on. Get your injector rail on, that was moved over. Get your coolant hoses on. I gotta order a new housing because this one was cracked, the original one to it. But yeah. So this is me doing a WJ head gasket. Rockers, rods, lifters, well, not rockers. cleaned up a lot of the parts, repainted them, intake manifolds done. Some of the brackets were sanded, painted. This will be new. It's $13 thing, but that's aluminum. The guy before me, I guess, wanted to put 30 foot-pounds of those, and they only require like 9. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. Fill it up with some coolant. Check the oil. Might top it off a little bit. Run it. Make sure everything's not leaking. And probably in about a week, I'm gonna put some. I'm gonna put an oil flush in there because it was kind of grimy just a little bit. I cleaned it. I cleaned out all the parts good, the head and all that, intake ports and stuff. But I'm still gonna run it through there. Run it about a week or two. Drop the oil, put fresh oil in it, and then I'm gonna throw in a zinc additive. And hopefully I'll get hundreds of thousands of more miles out of this truck. If you have any questions, let me know. Sounds much better.